Thank you, ladies, very much. And we're actually going to touch on the HCG, and I want to high-five the BeFit person, because my entire table over here heard me groan when I heard those 3 letters. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your dinner, but that's 500 calories. So, first, before we start though, on your, you see my lovely lady, we call her Lazy Butt Sally. We do have a Lazy Butt Bob, so if you have any guys that need to lose weight, we have a Bob. But on there you see a card and it says SA Fashion Police. And you're like, well, what is Skinny and Fashion Police? Well, that's the business that Holly and I are in. What SA Fashion Police is about, just real fast, is fashion has been huge for me. I lost 30 pounds, gained it, lost it again. When I first lost it, I'm like, oh, what do I do with this body? I don't know how to dress it. So I have a master's degree in what not to wear, how do I look, and all those other shows that tell you how to dress your body type. So I found that other people also had that same need. And we didn't just want to dress your bodies, because your body itself is part of your fashion. So we have over 40 image consultants that post on our site marketing themselves, and we have fitness professionals. We don't have anyone in Florida yet, so if you want to market yourself, talk to me later. All you do is you write an article once a month and to our audience. We started in September, and we also have life coaches and motivational coaches. And we're targeting men and women, middle class income, because they don't know that you can go to Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus and get a personal shopper, or they can't afford the stylist themselves. And our first product is what we're talking about today, which is an electronic book, a PDF file, ebook called How I Got My Lazy Butt Skinny. Okay, so to start first though, anyone here know what it means to be a lazy butt? Yeah, you recognize it? So if you don't know what it is, let me explain who I am, because this was not a fancy title. This was Elizabeth talking about herself. My lazy butt prefers to be on the couch with the remote, watching television, and no Doritos. I want the red velvet cake with the sugar on top. I want the sweets. I don't want to go work out. I hate to work out. I love my trainers, but it's just not something I'm going to do. I have over 5 friends or more that are females, over 200 pounds. They're worse than me. So we all call ourselves, we're lazy. Just plain and simple. We want to do it. We want to make the changes, but we prefer to be here. Does anybody recognize themselves in that statement? Yes? Okay, let's talk about the purists. I know one person who can raise their hands. Anyone here who is working out every day? They are doing the organic vegetables. I have tons of friends who are very vegan. They are hitting Whole Foods. You're hitting anyone here?
Oh, me.
Anyone? Yeah, I knew it. And actually, we figured out Colette and I actually know each other. Okay, how about anybody in between? Yeah, that's the common person. You're either the extreme, which unfortunately America has gone after, or you're in between. The other extreme is a very difficult lifestyle to live and actually run your business and feel like you're an American. I have friends that do it and they drive me nuts with all the vitamins they want to put me on. So our ebook though was not originally called How I Got My Lazy Butt Skinny. It was originally called How I Got My Lazy Butt Healthy, because this is about healthy living. It's a lifestyle change. And we're going to talk about diets in a minute, and I'm not going to totally pound on the HCG, but we will cover a little bit. I have a friend who emailed me I haven't talked to in a while. I'm actually very similar to this lady over here where you have to call friends more often. And she says, so what are you up to? So I let her know. I'm doing the SA Fashion Police, and I wrote an ebook called How I Got My Lazy Butt Healthy. She goes, oh, well, when you write the one about getting skinny, let me know. And I said, well, technically this is for that. And I'm not going to get political, but I really don't like that we're going after the fat kids with child obesity, because skinny kids aren't healthy either with our society's school systems and what they're feeding our kids these days. So, and I was a skinny kid who grew up on processed food. That's not healthy either. So just because you're thin doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy. So that's what the original book and the content is still about, is being healthy. But she says, now let me take my shoes off here for a minute. Don't mind my stinky feet. I'm 5'3½". Okay, I'm considered petite by ½ an inch. My friend emails me, she says, Elizabeth, I'm healthy. My cholesterol's fine. My doctor says I'm fine. My numbers are fine. I just need to lose the weight. And I said, Kim, I said, it's got to be both. You know, you got to get the healthy to get the skinny. She says, Elizabeth, I'm only 5'2", but I only weigh 190 pounds. Anyone shocked? I'm 5'3½". I'm in my 130s. Okay, unless you're 6'8" for a female, 190 is not healthy. So if you look on your handouts that we gave you, I have taken from the book directly. It's called What Does It Matter? And I'm not going to go over these. And I emailed, I have some fitness professionals on SA Fashion Police, and I emailed them, I said, how is this possible? The doctor has told her she's healthy. And he emailed me back, says the doctors are just as heavy these days as the patients, and they were not trained in nutrition and vitamins. They're just catching up with a lot of people that have already known how to eat healthy. They are trained in the medical of our body. So if you look to some of the statistics that according to the October 10th issue of Prevention Magazine, a healthy lifestyle can dramatically lower your cancer risk. 18.2 million Americans currently have diabetes. How many people know that losing weight can get rid of diabetes for most people? Not all people. Now, don't mark my words to say all. It's for most people. You watch The Biggest Loser, you find out most of them come off all their meds by the time they hit a healthy range. So having the extra weight on you is not healthy. One of my friends, I went up to Iowa and we took photos for basic strength training workouts you can do with a can of corn, a Gatorade, or dumbbells if you can't afford a trainer or you can't get yourself to the gym for whatever reason. And she told me a year ago, she's about her being on a sleep apnea machine. I've known this woman since she was 14 years old, since we were both 14 years old. Do we know what sleep apnea machines are used for? Do we know that that means you stop breathing because Dr. Oz will measure your neck on TV to show people that the fat is cutting off your air? And I said, well, why don't you lose the weight? Oh, well, the problem is taken care of. No, the symptom is taken care of, not the problem, okay? I said this year to her, I finally said, I'm like, don't you want, her children are my god babies. I'm like, don't you want to see my god babies' babies? Don't you want to see them get married? She goes, well, if you put it that way. Well, why aren't you thinking that way? You know, I've become, I said earlier, we're turning 39 this year, I know, real old, but I've become everybody's mama. Everyone's mama. If you've been smoking for the last so many years, I'm now telling you to quit. If you've been gaining weight, I'm literally everyone's mama. And I'm like, no, it's for selfish reasons. I want you to be around because I love you, period.